Welcome back to TacNTrack. I'm Brad.
And I'm Gil. And today we're talking about maybe one of my favorite guns in the armory, the PSL.
Well, my plate is completely gone now. So, for you guys who are not familiar with the PSL, this is a Romanian designated marksman rifle. It's not really a sniper rifle. It's often employed in that role, but that's not what its task was originally designed to do. This was designed to give a squad of soldiers additional range. And it is somewhat closely related to the Russian Dragunov, but it's not a Dragunov, but it certainly fills that same role. And this is a gun that I was really excited about.
Yeah, so this is one. I was looking for two guns for a while. I was looking for a PSL and a Benelli M4. Well, I found the Benelli first, went and picked it up, and couldn't buy two at the same time. 2 days later, Brad calls me and said, "I found your gun." I said, "Please, please, please buy it, and I will buy it from you when I can." And he won't let go of it.
So a PSL is a gun that I've wanted for a long time. I mean, I like Russian, Soviet era, Cold War styled guns, regardless of who they came from. I think there's a lot of history intertwined into this time period and interlaced into these guns. What I didn't expect is a gun that shoots this great.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand it.
Oh, it's just a gorgeous weapon. I mean, even just looking at it, it's pretty, and it shoots as good as it looks.
I've shot a lot of Soviet era firearms from the Eastern Bloc, and typically they don't have very good triggers. And this gun, I wouldn't tell you that the trigger in it is great, but it performs flawlessly. I mean, this thing almost feels like you can't miss every time you pick it up.
That's true, and I'd almost disagree with you. I really liked the trigger on it.
It's good.
It has a decent pull to it and a crisp break. I'm just a fanboy. I may just love it so much by the look of it that I think more of it than it is, but every time we've been out to shot, it's been an absolute blast.
So one of the FUD items that I've always heard is Soviet era optics are absolute trash. I've been really incredibly impressed with this optic.
Yeah, we've had it at the store before, and we used it to look across the interstate at another store that we're competing with to see what kind of inventory they have. We've just used this optic for way more than its intended use. I absolutely love it.
And one of the really nice things, and this isn't true with all AK styled firearms, is you can pull the optic off of this guy, use it for something like we were, completely off the gun, put it back on the gun, and it's still zeroed.
Yeah.
That's another one of those kind of FUD lore myths that exist around these era firearms, especially the Soviet stuff, is you can't ever re-zero the optic. This thing works great.
It works great, and it gives you several levels that you can map out exactly where your target is, distance from target, and still hit accurately every time. I absolutely love it. I didn't expect to. I expected it to be average at best and maybe swap it out, although it has a complicated mount, but it just works, and it works great.
The other thing that I really like on this, I don't know if you've shot it with irons.
I haven't.
The iron sight radius is really far, and that's one of the common gripes with the AK is that sight radius is so short and the iron sights aren't great. Now, this is the same setup as AK irons, but it really does work well. So let's talk about our 5 categories that we talk about with every gun here on TacNTrack. Value.
That's what, a $2,300 gun there?
It is. So it's fairly expensive, but I will tell you this: it has some historical context to it. Even though this is a new made gun, it has some historical context to it. There are fairly limited numbers of those. can you probably go out and buy or build an AR-10 that is more accurate than this off the shelf? Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, but it will never be as pretty.
Right. I also don't think that if you build something to compete with this gun, it will hold its value as well as this gun, because I really expect this gun to go up in value, most definitely hold its value, because it is cool, interesting, and unique. And that's a lot of things that collectors are looking for when they're looking for a gun, and I really don't think you can go wrong here. Another good point, too, with these. The rifle's expensive, ammo's cheap.
That's right.
Right? So your initial buy-in maybe a little bit more expensive, but you can go shoot it. You know, say that about your 6.5 Creedmoor, I'll wait.
Yeah, no, that's 7.62 by 54, so similar ballistics to what, 308?
Yeah, maybe a little bit hotter than 308, somewhere between 308 and 30-06.
Putting a lot of joules on target. It's accurate. And this, unlike my AR, will run steel with absolutely no problems at all.
Yeah.
You got 10-round mags. And about what are those mags running these days?
Yeah, so this is... I actually thought about running this in a TacNTrack 2-gun match, just because it would be a blast to shoot in that kind of match. And I certainly have an advantage on those long-range targets.
Certainly.
But you know why I won't do that? Because I can't get mags for under about $80 a piece.
Yeah.
I've seen advertisements for them at $40, but nobody's ever got those. There's also polymer mags out.
Are there really?
There's polymer mags out. They're like $35 a piece, I think.
Not terrible.
I just don't know if I trust a plastic mag in a gun like this.
It certainly won't look right. I suppose in a competition scenario, it's not a problem, but you need to run that mag in this gun. I mean,
and these are 10s. They do make 20s, or they did make 20s. I haven't seen them anywhere but Gunbroker for like $300, and I'm not paying $300.
No, yeah, that's cost prohibitive. But as long as it comes with one magazine and you get to pull that trigger, although it's expensive, I find it to be fantastic value, and that could just be coming from the heart rather than anything else. But I really enjoy shooting this gun, so
yeah,
value.
Your value here is in what it is and its ability to retain that value. It's more of a collector's piece than it is a shooter's piece, but it's a great shooter, and you can shoot the hell out of it.
Yeah, I think it'll track with inflation better than your cash will.
Oh yeah.
So
well, that ain't saying much these days.
Right. Absolutely.
So value, accuracy.
Accuracy it's got. We've taken some 100-yard shots with it, and there's just no issues at all. We haven't done much past that at this point, but I have all the faith in the world in this thing. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to go take 300, 400.
So our local range has an 800-yard range.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't had the time to really sit down and shoot that 800-yard range with all the TacNTrack and rimfire challenge matches, everything we've been doing. But expect us to take this out and really get some range out of it. But at 100 to 150, you can't miss.
You can't.
I honestly, I don't think I've missed a single shot with this thing at those kind of ranges. Now that's very close for a gun like this.
Yeah.
But the inability to miss just seems to be baffling.
Yeah, as long as you're lined up on the crosshairs, it's a done deal. And I am excited to take some longer shots with it because I want to know what it can do. But I already know what it can do at short range, and you cannot help but blow up your target.
So I think that brings us to fun factor.
You know my opinion on that. What's yours?
I actually can't sit here and talk to you guys about this thing without smiling. We were having a discussion shortly before we filmed this, totally unrelated to this, on what the best gun in the collection is.
Yeah.
And this is the only thing I could think of that would trump this is the fully automatic Uzi. And that's a totally different hemisphere
Yeah,
than what you have.
And I actually disagree with that, and I've shot that gun, and it is a blast, don't get me wrong, but I absolutely love this gun, and I think it's probably my favorite in the entire collection.
I'm certainly right there with you. And the nice thing about this gun, unlike some of the other historical firearms that we've done other videos on, and you can buy ammunition off the shelf.
Yep.
Each 7.62 by 54 is expensive, but for a full power rifle round, it's dirt cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 22, but
no,
it's certainly not bad. And I mean, you can actually shoot this gun all day long too. You would expect the recoil to be noticeable, like what you get out of the Mosin Nagant.
Mm-hmm.
It's a teddy bear to shoot. It really is. And we've broken quite a few target stands with this gun.
Yep.
And well, that's never fun to go fix your target. It's a blast to watch a target that you've hit with all kinds of stuff just do a backflip.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not hitting the target stands with it. We're hitting the target, and it's doing damage to the stand. It's just a fantastic firearm in terms of accuracy, unbeaten, fun factor, unbeaten, reliability.
Never had an issue. Now, with that being said, we maybe have 200, 300 rounds through this gun at this point in time, but let's be honest, the AK's reputation and the AK-based platform's reputation for reliability is well deserved.
Absolutely.
Is it as good as maybe some people would lead you to believe? No, but it's not going to leave you lacking in anything, and I really can't think of much that is more reliable than... I'll tell you that my AK, I've never had an issue out of it, and I've got thousands of rounds. AK platforms are very, very good for reliability. I don't think you can knock it for reliability at all.
No, which leaves us with our fifth and final category. So our ease of use for this gun. Have you ever used an AK?
Yeah.
Fairly simple. Plugged in the mag, rack the bolt, pull the trigger. Safety is unreasonable, like all AKs. Taking it apart takes seconds. Now,
the unfortunate fact of the world is AKs are the #1 choice for a lot of poorly trained soldiers throughout the world. There's a reason for that. It's because they're easy to use. They're also cheap, but
yeah,
a lot of it has to do with them being easy to use. They are incredibly easy to use. It doesn't get any better than an AK on ease of use. So, to kind of sum it all up, what's bad?
Yeah, no, right? I mean, if you're looking at hitting targets at distance, as long as you can swing the price, that's the gun. That's the gun, in my opinion. That's the reason I wanted it, was for everything we've listed above, and Brad found it and bought it.
Yeah. And I've really been super happy with this thing.
Yeah.
Would I have rather have bought a Dragunov? Yeah. Do I think the average market price on Dragunovs right now is about 10 grand? Do I think it's worth the difference? Absolutely not.
No.
You know, I really have zero regrets on this gun. I think it was absolutely fine firearm. And if it's something that you've been teetering on the edge and saying, do I really want that?
You want that.
Yeah, you want this. Like,
you want that.
Yes, can you go out and buy another 6.5 Creedmoor that you can't afford to shoot for the same money? That's probably a little bit more accurate? Sure. Is it going to put a smile on your face like this gun? Absolutely not.
This will do it every time, and it's beautiful hanging on the wall. So if you want to watch us shoot this gun a little bit, we'll have some footage here in a second. Thank you for tuning in to TacNTrack.
We'll catch you next time. I love this thing.
That thing is sweet.
All these plates are running into each other. Oh, around the bend on that one. May have broken a hanger. Wow, that's got some punch. Took one shot, like readjusted it, not at a like even circular target. We just kind of took a pop shot at something. Placed the reticle and pulled a shot, and we're like, yeah, that's close.
That sun gun hits.
It hits.
You hold it so delicately.
You know, I've actually managed to miss one. All these plates are running into each other. On that one, may have broken a hanger. Wow, that's got some punch. You should be on this end.
Yeah. A lot of pressure.
Yes, the pressure wave is quite intense. And it feels like you can't miss with the thing.
No, you really can't.